A great way to create a tactic is to use the presets in game and then tweak it, and today I'm going to show you how I've done it to this one. That's right, crew. So I'm going to show you how to take that, the preset gegenpress, which is what a lot of people get success with, and tweak it to your team to make it look something like that. So let's start from scratch. This is going to be a bit like the video I did about building your own free at the back tactic, but here we go. So gegenpress, we'll start with that. Choose formation. There's the 4-2-3-1 that the game gives you. Let's give that a go, confirm, and there you can see it. 4-2-3-1 gegenpress. You can see the tactical style down the side there. It's not the way I like to play at the minute, but this is a good example because loads of people like to play gegenpress or gegenpress. So in the preset tactic that you get given, it all makes sense. If you look at a wing back on the right hand side, he's got attack in front of him and inside forward on support. It's the opposite on the other side with a wing back support and inside forward attack. That is superb. Nice balance to the team. However, what we're going to do is we're going to emphasize the left hand side, and in the squad that I've got, I'm not overly excited by the players that can play in this role here, so I'm kind of going to get rid of it and ask my wing back to dominate that left hand side. So for now, let's just move this guy over there for now. He's not going to stay there, but it just shows me a visual that I want this left hand side controlled by this guy. So to give me a better chance, and bearing in mind the gegenpress style is a higher defensive line, I'm going to push him up to there. His starting position's going to be there. He's going to dominate going forward that flank for me. So just by doing that, I'm going to have a little gap in here, aren't I? So my first thing I'm going to do is I want everything to make sense. So I'm going to ask this central defender to stay a bit wider when we've got the ball. So when we've got the ball, he's going to drift over here. So when we lose the ball, he's still going to be over there and then come inside. But hopefully, by being in this sort of position there, it'll give this guy a bit more time to get back. So this sort of area is going to be covered by the central defender. But I want a bit more cover. So this guy here, roaming playmaker as it sits, we're going to change that. We're going to tweak that to deep line playmaker. Why? Because he's got a hold position. So he's going to stay a little bit more in there like that. So he's going to be there, like we said. I'm also going to add defend duty onto him. So he's going to be deep line playmaker on defend. So he's going to stay in this position here, helping cover this sort of area when he's out of position. So now I'm really emphasizing the left-hand side. This guy's got a bit more of a license to bomb forward. Now he's got cover from the playmaker and the central defender going a bit wider. Now I've added some players in, you can see what I'm cooking. So I've got DiMarco up there. I've got Brozovic who's going to cover him across, and Bastoni will come across into this area as well. I think that's decent cover, especially as we're going to be a strong team. I'm expecting us to dominate a lot of the matches, so I want to be on the front foot, especially using this gegenpress style. So the preset gives us 2 DMs. I'm only going to use one though. I'm going to move my other central midfielder higher up, so he's going to cover a bit more ground. I'm going to ask him to box to box, so he's going to be up and down, up and down. Now because my right wing back's on support and not on attack, so it's not really likely he's going to get to the byline. Instead of an inside forward who's going to cut in loads more, I'm still going to keep an inside inverted player, but it's going to inverted winger. So he's going to be more of an assister than an inside forward, so he's going to combine more with this wing back. So now I've got this deep line playmaker dropping deep, and I've got this box-to-box midfielder, so they probably need a little bit more support in there. So rather than being on attack, this advanced midfielder, I'm going to ask him to support, which means he'll drop in a little bit more often as well. Now, this position was that position last time, but looking at that, I don't think we need it because DiMarco's got that covered. So this is going to allow me then to have 2 strikers. I'm going to have him offset, so he covers this sort of area, largely to occupy the right back. So he's going to cover the right back area, dropping in, meaning he doesn't have as much work to do. So now you can see the shape that we've got going on. That is starting to look, I mean, it looks quite crazy, right? But hopefully you can see that DiMarco covers the left-hand side. These two have got the right-hand side covered. And between the 3 of these guys, they've got the central midfield area covered. And all this allows me to have 2 strikers rather than the one that you get from a normal gegenpress 4-2-3-1 setup. So the team theory is exactly the same. I have not touched the team instructions. I've just moved players around to suit the squad I've got. I think DiMarco can cover that left-hand side, so I'm going to encourage him to do so and give him a bit of insurance with Brozovic and Bastoni moving across. Ahead of that, I've got 2 strikers I want up there. Let's get him in there now. There you can see. So I'm into Milan. Now, if I was going by the normal preset of a gegenpress 4-2-3-1, Martinez probably doesn't play. Either him or Lukaku's going to have to sit out. But why? I've made it now so both of them can play without adjusting the style. So now if we have a look at pitch coverage, we'll go to analysis and we can see we're pretty well covered. We're pretty well covered. Even the area with no official wing back, it says it's pretty well covered. DeMarco's there, but we know Bastoni's going to come across as well. In fact, the only place that says we're not really covered is this area here, because we've got Brozovic sitting back on defend. But I'm confident with the two guys a little bit ahead of him, Martinez and Mkhitaryan, that they're combined will cover this area. In fact, as I switch to the DeMarco tactic, which I've saved already, you can see the player instructions that I've put on. So we've got Brozovic there, no player instructions. DeMarco, we want him to be more aggressive, so we've got him dribble more and staying wider as that total focal point. Mkhitaryan here, moving to channels, so he's going to come into here, help out with DeMarco and Martinez. And he's also got tackle harder and mark tighter, so he's going to help out in a defensive role as well. Martinez marking specific position. As I click onto that, you'll see it's the right back, so he's going to be in that zone when we don't have the ball, marking the right back, so DeMarco has a bit more coverage. It's all built around helping DeMarco and get the best out of your left wing back. So we've built a completely new shape. It looks horrific, right? But in game you'll be surprised the way it looks, and we have not touched the team instructions at all. So here it is with Inter. We've had a good season with it. We've beat PSG comfortably 3-1. Juventus got spanked 5-0 there. All good. It's been flying through. Goals have been flying in. Here's the league table, by the way. We've undefeated so far, 26 out of 29 wins, but more impressively, 95 goals. So that tactic there has done the business. I've tweaked it here and there. I've made Barella a ball-winning midfielder every now and again. But one thing I have not changed is the team instructions. It's still gegenpress setup that the preset gives you. I've just messed around with the formation. Now, in match, let me look at the heat map and you'll see that the principles of the 4-2-3-1 kind of remain. They can see in this match against Liverpool in the Champions League, it looks like it's going to be an epic, by the way. But the heat map shows that the formation no longer looks crazy, does it? It looks like a pretty basic 4 with 2 defensive midfielders, 1 in behind, and you've got a striker with 2 wide players. Basically a 4-2-3-1. And before I wrap up, I just want to show you the Anderlecht team I've got going at the minute. I've brought this tactic in with about 12 games to go, something like that. You can see we've had a pretty good season. But the reason I show you this is when I go to tactics, my right back was a better attacking option than my left back. So I basically flipped it, I've mirrored it to match. So rather than looking like the left back is dominating on this one, come for the right side, and we've simply moved all the players over to the other directions. And it just shows the flexibility. If you've got a better right back, build your 4-2-3-1 around your right back. Make sense? Simple video, dudes. Just have a little look at the presets and see what sort of tactics that you can build from them that'll suit the players in your squad. Let me know if you get any good ones.